Nigerian ogbono soup recipe, which I'm sure you all love because it's super tasty and super yummy at the same time. Let me put you through on the process. For this recipe, I'm going to be using enough crayfish. This is crayfish. Then I'm going to be using some dried fish. In here, I have a jakika, that is Panla fish, and I also have smoked catfish. I'm also going to be using good quality palm oil for this recipe. Good quality palm oil, emphasis on that. Of course, I'll be using some ogbono. Then, in this plate, I have some onion, yellow pepper, dawadawa, and 2 ogiri. I'm going to be blending this alongside the crayfish. I'm going to be using some thoroughly cleaned stockfish. This is it. I washed this multiple times. Then some Uziza leaves for that freshness at the end. Then for the protein, I'll be using cow foot, bone marrow, and some brisket bones. That's what I'll be using for the protein. I won't be using red meat for this recipe. Research shows that it is very important you eat bone marrows because it helps with your gut health, but you don't eat it quite often. Don't eat it quite often, maybe twice a week. Because I won't be using hard part of protein, I can prep my ingredients first. So I'll be prepping the fish first, add that into a bowl, add some salt, some hot water, allow that to sit till it is properly disinfected. Now I will go ahead and blend my crayfish, onion, dawadawa, ogiri, and yellow pepper till it is very smooth. Then one thing you should take note of whenever you're making Nigerian soups is the crayfish. Crayfish, you must use enough crayfish for your soups to taste really nice. Then dawadawa is also important, and ogiri very important, and the most important, yellow peppers. It gives your soup a savory aroma. Once it is very smooth, I'm going to set that aside for use later. Do not forget you can also pound that if you wish, but I chose to blend because it saves time. Back to the fish. It has been disinfecting for the past 5 minutes, so I'm just going to transfer the water so that you can see what some people consume. So I just tried to discard that water, added in some fresh water, then began washing. What I basically did was that I took out the bones from the jakika or Panla fish, then took out the bones from the catfish, roasted catfish as well, cleaned the guts, removed every single dirt in it, washed it multiple times until the water ran clear, then I set it aside for use later. Now that I'm done with the major prepping, it is time to cook. Remember I told you I'll be using cow foot. This is my already cooked cow foot. I just added it into the pot, added in my bone marrow and brisket bones, added in my properly cleaned stockfish and my onion. Then I went in with some stock cubes, salt, and I mixed everything well to combine. Do not worry, the full list of the ingredients will be in the description box down below. Please do also check that out as it will help you greatly with this recipe. So I cover this up, allow this to start cooking. If peradventure you are just new to my channel or you're a returning viewer, please hit the subscribe button down below, like this video, and leave me a comment. It helps my channel grow. Now after about 15 minutes, I check on this and you can see everything is rendering the juices. You can see that the bone marrow most especially has rendered most of its fats or oil. That I'll call it oil. Then I gave it a quick mix, added in some water, and allowed it to cook for the next 15 more minutes till I'm sure that the brisket bones are properly cooked. As I said earlier on, you can use any other protein of your choice, any part of the cow of your choice. It is up to you. This is my choice of protein for today, or it's up to me. It is my recipe. So I just added in some water so that it can have some stock to make the soup. Then I went in with my blended ingredients. Then I gave it a quick mix, allowed that to do its thing for the next 5 minutes. That's to boil. You want to ensure you are doing this on medium heat, not high heat or low heat. Medium heat precisely. Then for the ogbono, you have to dissolve or melt your ogbono with some palm oil. And to do that, one thing I want to take note of is that you don't use too much palm oil to make ogbono soup. If you use too much palm oil for your ogbono soup, it loses the tendency, or it has the tendency of not drawing. So you have to use a little bit of palm oil like I used. So I just transferred my ogbono into a ramekin tin. Then I added in some palm oil, just a little bit, not so much. You can see the pot of soup that I'm making. I added that little, mixed everything well to combine, and transferred it into the boiling pot of soup. Then I covered this, allowed that to cook for 5 minutes max. Another alternative to this is to transfer this mixture into a frying pan and heat it up for like 5 minutes while you are stirring on it. 3 to 5 minutes depending on the quantity though. At this point, you can see that the ogbono is looking good already. I just used my picker or tongue to pour this directly into the pot of soup. I did not use my hand so that I don't injure myself. Then once I add that into the pot of soup, I'm just going to mix it with my kitchen spoon, mix it well to combine. Then after mixing everything well to combine, I'm just going to allow this to do its thing. One thing about making ogbono soup is that you have to allow the ogbono cook properly, and I allow this to cook for like 10 to 15 minutes on medium heat, not high heat, because it is going to burn. You all can see that oil floating at the top. That is not the palm oil. That is the oil from the bone marrow. Bone marrow accumulates a lot of fat, so that is it. So I'm just going to go in with my cleaned and deboned fish, add it in at this point, give this a proper mix, adjust with some seasoning if needed. For me, I did not adjust with some seasoning cubes. I just went in with a bit of salt because I love the taste that dawadawa and ogiri gives to my meals, and enough crayfish. That is the essence of enough crayfish. You get to use less of seasoning cubes. So at this point, I went in with my Uziza leaves. Uziza leaves is a game changer in this. Added it in to give it that peppery aroma. Then I went in with my ugu leaves. One thing about this soup is that once you go in with your vegetables, depending on type of vegetables though, once you go in with your ugu leaves most especially, just turn off the heat and allow the residual heat in the pot to do the rest of the cooking. At this point, I just give it a quick stir and that was it, and the soup was ready. I paired this with some yellow eba or yellow gari. You can pair it with any fufu of your choice, perfect for eba most especially. So guys, that was basically how I made this, and I used chilled coke to push it down. Guys, do not judge me. I don't take coke often, but once I want to take mineral, I take it to my heart content. So that's basically how you make this delicious pot of goodness. And do not forget this goat to stop crying. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and see you guys in my next one. Bye.